Yet again you find me heading deep into the Asian countryside and jungle, hunting ancient temples, often abandoned and forgotten. The road is littered with landmines, the jungle festooned with venomous snakes. But the ancient sites you and I will visit are simply breathtaking.
I've now actually got this gentleman whose head is popping into the screen, and he is driving me through the ancient site of the main temple. But it's not this main temple that we are going to. We are going to follow this wall. Now, this is where a little motto, or moped as we say in England, is the best bike in the world, because my bigger bike would have trouble due to its size. So we are following the exterior wall of what is an absolutely huge temple, because there is one in the jungle that I want to get to, and its name is Cham. And I've seen it once before, and I remember how difficult it was to get to. So this guy I've paid, I believe he's a local police officer, and he is going to take us to an absolutely wondrous site. Now, we're pushing on through, but as we've come this way, which I've never come before, we've just come across this ancient bridge. Now, I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to have to clamber down to show it to you, because I can't zoom in on this camera because it is broken by the horrendous ride in, because the road was so bad. But how could I possibly drive past this without showing you this? This is absolutely amazing. I have never, ever seen a bridge like this. And to think, I have accidentally just come across it. I'm not even really looking out for snakes. I'm just in awe of this bridge. This ancient bridge that was used by so many pilgrims nigh on 1,000 years ago slumbers in this jungle environment. And we continue on. Now, the wall to the main temple here at Preah and Kompong, Svay, which is on the other side of this wall. That temple within that boundary wall is absolutely vast, and it gives you an idea as to how big this city once was and how important it was. This wall just goes on and on and on. But I'm just going to cast my eye now to the left, and you can see the environment we're in. There is just nothing here apart from jungle and this ancient city. It is an absolutely astonishing place to be. So here is the usual formal introduction. Hello and welcome to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now, wasn't that just the most amazing journey in? I've actually been to this very site before, an awful long time ago. It was one of my first ever temples, and that's why I employed a policeman to actually help me find this site. Because although you see a track as we were driving in, there's sort of an interlacing network of them. And if you take the wrong one going back, well, you're heading in the wrong direction and the sun is going down. And the jungle itself is known by the British Army as Green Hell. Quite simply, in the jungle, everything, and I mean everything, is trying to stab you, slash you, poison you, or eat you. You do not want to be lost in an environment like this. Hence, my new friend is an absolute godsend. And look where he's brought us. This is the most magnificent Cham, a place that so rarely anyone comes here. And it's got quite the history. It was built, we believe, in the 11th century by Suryavarman I. And this place is wildly important. Well, it was, and I suppose it still is, because it was the royal residence of Suryavarman II. So this is not only a fantastic site, it was also a place where the royals lived and they commanded great power. And here it is. In the distance is the call of jungle birds. It is such an absolutely beautiful sight. And I'm so pleased that I've discovered that policeman and he's willing to help me. And also, he'll be with me tomorrow, obviously for a fee that is acceptable to both of us, shall we say. Now then, this is what we need to do. Let's enter in and see what we can find. Now, it doesn't look too small, but it is. So it's down on the knees. Here we go, crawling in. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is exactly why I do what I do. The rewards, excuse me, I'm going to have to clamber again. Here we go. The rewards of finding spaces like this. Oh, look, can you see? We've disturbed the bats. You see, they're the only residents that now live in this once royal palace. And below the bats is one almighty hole that once held a giant ancient statue. But because this site is so very remote, what it did was it allowed the looters to have free rein. And they plundered this place without remorse. They used chainsaws, they used block and tackle, they had a considerable workforce, and they stole absolutely everything. So what is left is not an awful lot. And as you can see, this site is still very much in an abandoned state. And as I say, that's because nobody really comes here. Now I have to be jolly careful, keeping my eye down towards the ground for snakes and trying desperately not to rip the tendons in my right foot again by falling over. Ow, I've just, sorry, huge thorns. Get off. Sorry, here we go. There we go. You wouldn't believe how hostile this environment is. Anyone that's been in the jungle for any time will tell you it is pretty much horrible. There's nothing quite like it. We are walking through the very center of the temple, and we will emerge through that doorway there, God willing. And what I'm clambering over is an enormous bit of masonry. And again, as we get to here, what looks like solid ground isn't. Right here is a pit. And one step further and I would have gone headlong into that. And there probably lay yet another statue that has been looted. Here we are at the back of the temple. And I just wish to show you again the environment that we're in. There really is absolutely nothing around here. Apart from this, a relic of a once mighty, mighty empire that spread not just in Cambodia, but through Thailand and beyond, trading with all of Asia and potentially beyond that. The wealth of this kingdom was quite simply eye-watering. But look at it now, how mighty empires do fall. But that shot you just saw of me scanning round, you know, showing the jungle, it wasn't like that. You must always remember this. because what it was in fact a city. But all the buildings have gone because, of course, they were made of wood, as have all the records. All records are gone because they were written on a type of papyrus. So the only echo of the past we have is these stone buildings that have been brutalized by looters. And subsequently, the history of this place, of this entire city, is not really known because there's nothing to show. I mean, where do you base your facts? But people do say, scholars do say, that potentially this city was so powerful, it could have been its own state. It could have been under its own control. So that is the amazing Cham, hidden away in this ancient city that was a powerhouse for a now lost empire. And this gentleman is the man that brought me here. So I'm going to give him a massive thank you. Archon. Thank you. Without him, I could be lost out there in the jungle. So he is a very good man. As always, I very much hope you've enjoyed this video, and if by chance you could help me build up this library of sites like this that are often abandoned and neglected, then I would be truly grateful. Now, how you do that is very simple. It's www.patreon.com/temples. Simple as that. And until next time, as always, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care now.